Niger State Government Secretary told BBC News Pidgin that armed men had attacked the Government Science College in Kagara, about 260 kilometers, about 160 miles northwest of the Nigerian capital, Abuja, approximately about 3 a.m. The attackers, dressed in military uniforms and masks, stormed the school hostels to take away children, local media reported, and that some of the children escaped during the incident. And President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned the cowardly attack on innocent school children. The president has directed the armed forces and police to ensure immediate and safe return of all the captives, Garba Shehu, president's spokesman, said in a statement yesterday. All right, so this is one story that has been raving on in the media. Garba Shehu said the president has directed the armed forces and police to ensure immediate and safe return of all captives. Section 305, subsection 3 of the Nigerian Constitution talked about what are the grounds for state of emergency, particularly when it comes to the issue of security. I was trying to see if I could read part of it. It says a procedure for proclamation of state of emergency. And I'd like to look at it, as soon as I'm able to pick it. I have it on the screen, and I'll be reading that to you in a short while. And what it means is that the Senate had called for the declaration of state of emergency on the issue of security in Nigeria. And so let me look at the subsection, okay, I have it here now. Let me quickly read it. 305. It says 305 sub 3. The president shall have power to issue a proclamation of a state of emergency only when the federation is at war, the federation is in imminent danger of invasion or involvement in a state of war, there is actual breakdown of public order and public safety in the federation or any part thereof to such extent as to require extraordinary measures to restore peace and security. There's a clear and present danger of an actual breakdown of public order and public safety in the federation or any part thereof. There is occurrence of or imminent danger or the occurrence of any disaster or natural calamity affecting the community or a section of the community in the federation. We'll be taking a look at these issues about the state of security. A public officer that's talking about the Minister for Defense, Magashi, had said that we should stop acting cowardly. And I was wondering what that means. I want us to listen to him, and then I'll bring in my colleagues in the studio this evening. So the minister said that we all should stop acting cowardly, and that we should be bold. And I kept wondering, cowardly, be bold in what sense? So I'd like us to listen to what Magashi has to say this evening. He said this, and a lot of people have been talking about it. Listen to Magashi here.
Well, is it the responsibility of the military alone? It's the responsibility of everybody to keep alert and find safety when necessary. But we shouldn't be cowards. At times, the banditry will only come with about 3 rounds of ammunition. When they fire shot, everybody runs. In our younger days, we stand to fight any aggression coming to us. I don't know why people are running away from minor things like that. They should stand and let these people know that even the villagers, they have the competence and capability to defend themselves. But our own duty is to ensure no Nigerian is hurt, and we're capable of protecting the integrity of this nation. And we will continue to do it, even though we are so stretched.
Are you supporting the use of firearms by citizens?
You are asking so many.
Sorry, sir.
Well, this is an issue where probably even in the developed countries, they are still debating on it, whether to continue or not. But I don't advise Nigeria to start using firearms for personal use.
Still on the appointment of ex-service chiefs as envoy, do you think it is in order, considering the criticism that surrounds their performance when they were there?
You should understand the efforts the service chiefs put for this country. When they came in 2015, you see the applause. The people accepted them, and they were doing this nation very proud. They captured almost every objective that was lost to the insurgents. And I don't know, their only fault probably is they stay long, and Nigerians don't want people to stay too long in a particular job because of obvious reasons. But I think they have done their best, and I think if they are rewarded, it's not even a reward. They are capable and competent to take any assignment for this nation.
Yes,
people should.
You listen to the Minister for Defense right there saying something about us being bold. I don't know what it means. I will be asking my colleagues here. So we're looking at the state of insecurity, and the response of your state government will also be part of our focus: abduction in schools and school safety in Nigeria. These two issues. I don't know how many of us still remember the Safe School projects. We will also examine our thoughts around it. Tunde Olawuwo is here. Good evening, Tunde.
Good evening to you, Show. My pleasure to be here. Good evening, everybody.
And, good evening. Dayo Ogboale is also here. Dayo, good evening.
Always a pleasure to be here.
It's good to have Michael Olatunbosun also here too.
Always a pleasure.
Welcome, gentlemen. I'm starting with Tunde. Tunde, let's start with the statements of the minister. I don't know whether you will come back and retract those statements. They always do. But listening to him with hordes of journalists in front of him, making that statement that it's just 3 rounds of bullets, why do we just hear bullets and we run away? I also recall that while reading the story, front page of news, page 2 of Punch newspaper, Punch reported that the young boy who alerted the people when the bandits entered their school in Kagara was killed.
Yes. His name actually came out today.
And the minister said, why are we afraid?
Well, it's just one out of the many insults that we get to receive from our public officials. Ordinarily, Mr. Bashir Magashi shouldn't have been a minister in the first instance. One is old, he's 75. I mean, by law, it's not like he's not qualified, but to think that Minister of Defense is somebody that old, I have my reservations about that. This is also somebody who, given the right screening, shouldn't have passed ministerial screening. He was only just asked, to bow and go. Don't forget that this is somebody who was, caught stealing, basically, when he was still a military officer, especially when he served under, General Sani Abacha. He was, one of those, I would say, whose hands were found in the cookie jar. He was, alleged and, of course, found guilty of stashing away around $550,000, in an offshore account in the UK. He was caught red-handed. He pleaded guilty, and he was, he had to forfeit about 2/3 of that, around $400,000. And it was on the basis of that they allowed him to go. Now, he has come back to become the defense minister in Nigeria. And under his watch as a defense minister, look at where we are. From the north to the south, east to the west, insecurity staring everybody, in the face. Everywhere is so unsafe. Bandits, moving from the northeast and the northwest now to the north central. They are so close to home right now, and everybody should be scared. Now, talking about fighting back, I don't know what to say. Firstly, this bandits, they don't carry light weapons. No. They have all manner of weapons. They have AK-47. They have grenades. they have rocket propeller, they have, arguably one can even say they have, higher weapons than our military.
And Gumi said they are planning to buy anti-aircraft weapon. Gumi already told us that.
So there's absolutely no sense in what the minister said. And even if tomorrow somebody comes out to say he's been quoted out of context, this
video.
Well, they will say he's video shopped. Okay. There's nothing we're not here in this country.
The technology that was used to shoot the video.
Nobody can tell.
Okay. The name of the young boy, the student Benjamin Abila, was shot and killed by the bandits on the school premises.
Very unfortunate.
There we have this report. Not all bandits are criminals. Zamfara governor.
Well,
I don't want us to dwell on what he said. Bello Matawali said that not all bandits who terrorize part of the state and other neighboring states are criminals. But Dayo, let's start from what Gumi said. Gumi already said that they should be given amnesty, in the format of the South-South guys in the creek. If we adopt this, and then also, I'll try to look for that audio. I got it earlier this afternoon. Some members of the Senate, particularly from Zamfara State, are saying that government should give repented, bandits amnesty. If we continue to do amnesty for these guys, if we continue to negotiate from the point of weakness, are we going to have success?
The question we should ask ourselves is, how successful has Zamfara State been in this project of paying off bandits? One major issue I know that the governor of Kaduna State now, Nasir El-Rufai, has with the governor of Zamfara State is the fact that they share border, and Kaduna, Kano, and Sokoto. These states have issues with Zamfara States, not just because it's not from their party, but because consistently they've discovered that in the forest that connects these states, bandits migrate from Zamfara, wreak havoc in their states, and return to those places. So, in fact, you remember, I think it was the DG of the Northern Governors Forum also that outrightly indicted the governor of Zamfara, said that you are the ones sponsoring these people, because they know. He didn't even hide it. He has a way of, should I say, managing them financially, and he does not hide it. The truth is Zamfara safer for it today?
Don't forget that it was in the Zamfara State, within the boundaries of borders of Zamfara State, that the Kankara boys negotiation also took
exactly, because they even took them there
back to Katsina State.
Exactly.
Who is even asking for this amnesty? It's like you're fighting somebody, like you said. We are operating from the position of weakness. It's a different thing if you maybe after bombarding these guys for so many days, they become so battered to say, okay, we want to surrender. Would you just let us go in peace? But these guys are so bold. They are killing and kidnapping with impunity, and then you're offering them amnesty.
Well, I don't understand. I think Governor Matawale, maybe he's not so experienced in that office. He's new. He may not have deep-seated knowledge regarding handling such things. You won't see. I doubt if an El-Rufai would say such. I doubt if a Masari would say such. He attempted it at a time. He failed.
Billy Masari of Masari
exactly
holding AK-47 and he was standing by his side,
and then Kankara happened.
Now, El-Rufai also tried it.
He attempted it, but they burned their fingers. They burned their fingers.
No,
so it never works.
But if we continue to do it, how are we going to?
You're just going to make them. You're going to empower them. They have more money to buy more weapons, to have the capacity to do more damage. Maybe one day, hopefully not.
And then you make the industry.
They won't kidnap an entire city.
You make the industry lucrative.
That's it. You saw that the video from the Calgary, abduction. Those guys were holding RPG as if they're holding a pistol.
I saw RPG. As I even saw a
weaponized RPG, not just the Andrew. They have it. The rocket was attached.
That the person with the rocket should come. And
the rocket was attached. The grenade was attached to the RPG. So it's not as if
ready for battle.
Exactly. So they were not joking. Now, for these guys you don't buy RPG in Shasha market or Bodija market. No. You cannot even see it in the regular market.
It's not an open market.
Good. Now, somebody must have been releasing certain money, or they be making money from, their kidnaps and all that. Now, I think I'll stop here. I watched a national TV station yesterday. I'm just going to end with this. I'm sorry. The lady there doing the interview was talking to a young man speaking in Hausa, and she was trying to interpret that. I'm not here because of just my brother that they kidnapped, though. Like 4 of my relatives
have been kidnapped.
So this thing had been going on.
We have an industry in our hands.
There are at least 3 local governments that are practically on lockdown by bandits in Niger State as we speak.
But the government says that there is no portion of Nigeria.
That's wrong. Even General Buratai mentioned in passing today, while he was, I think when he went for the ambassadorial, whatever, after he came out, he said there are certain ungovernable places in Nigeria.
I remember Tunde also said the same thing some 2 weeks back.
Maybe because he has handed over to now. That's why he can say such things now. He mentioned it. He mentioned it. So we are not trying to say what is not. It's a fact that there are certain spaces in Nigeria today that is not under Nigerian government.
All right, so I'm going to hold on that. Michael, guide me through a bit of history of abductions in schools in Nigeria. I recall that some time ago, under Gordon Brown, the Safe School Initiative was launched.
Yes.
I am still wondering why schools like government science secondary school, has walls that are not secured, is vulnerable, that we know that these guys are somewhere around kidnapping children, and we still left these children unguarded.
Vulnerable.
2014, we started this business.
You see,
it's growing in leaps and bounds.
You see, the actual abduction actually started 2013. In June of 2013, it was killing of some students in a certain government secondary school in Damaturu, Yobe State. 8 students killed, and 1 teacher also was killed. And in 6th of July of the same year, Boko Haram insurgents stormed a building, a boarding school in Mamudo, Yobe State. Still, 42 students and teachers were killed. On the 29th of September, interesting date here, 50 students in the Yobe State College of Agriculture were killed in their sleep by Boko Haram. In 2014, of course, the 2014 episode is the most, the most announced, most popular, which is the Chibok. The Chibok experienced over 276 girls. And in 2016, you have this school in Lagos, Ikorodu, the badminton school. And then in 2018, you had, I think that was the Dapchi, where over 110 girls were taken. And then in December of last year, you had the government science secondary school, Kankara, over 300 students. And then just a few hours ago, 27 students that we know now, and 12 teachers, as well as some family members.
Right.
Now, that's about 800, over 800. And since this administration came on board, over 400 have been either abducted or killed in schools that we know of. Interesting thing about...
even though there were success stories of 1 or 2, Dapchi, we got some people came back.
The Kankara, the boys were recovered and the rest of it. But you see, you should not be talking about recovery.
You should never have happened.
But you know that's what, if you have to speak with a spokesperson of the government today, it will not go without telling you to your face.
You see the problem
that we are different from those whose regime...
I like that. I like that. You see, it's rhetoric.
But
I know, it's rhetoric. Those who speak that way, just wait for them to get out of government. You understand that that's the way Yoruba will say it. They were behaving other people's behavior when they are in government. So you understand that. Leave the semantics out of it. But you see, you were mentioning the safe school. The safe school initiative was to prevent, not to recover.
That was the idea.
So you see, we are so happy to say that we recovered. The point is, you should not even be talking about recovery.
Do those students even ever recover?
Do they even recover? The trauma. Do they even recover?
For the government, it makes political sense.
We're just counting the numbers.
To announce that, okay, we've recovered. The Chibok girls, even for those who have
been recovered, yes. We have over 100 of them. About 112 of them still
what
hanging
state
out
of mind are they?
You get it? So my own issue is when you put this thing together with all the statements that Tunde and I have been saying, I just laughed, the kind of bitter laughter, that this is a country, that has been kidnapped already. This country has been abducted. When young people are primed from their schools in their prime, you have a coincidence. Can I tell you the coincidence? Most of the schools are government science.
Yes, that's government school.
So there's a theme around this abduction. Maybe they are using them to culture bombs or something. I'm not sure. Because science.
I wanted to say
because I think one of the major factors is that it is mostly science schools that you have boarding schools.
Yes.
So thank you.
So they've become, but of course,
they've become a target and dangerous.
Shouldn't that have given security agencies who are in charge of our security, to say, okay, let's put it on the table and look at the trend of this abduction.
There was another attack yesterday in Shiroro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the same
one of the three local governments,
Niger State.
One of the three local governments.
So we're talking about less than 24 hours. You see, I think a lot of people don't understand when we say we have a large swath of ungoverned spaces in Nigeria. Meaning that if bandits, feel like attacking every day, kidnapping every day, killing every day,
no space.
Nobody will stop them. Our security, our military has been, badly stretched. That they can't even deal with, civil unrest. And you now want to push them to go and be fighting bandits.
Permit me, for perspective's sake, people need to understand that Niger State is the largest state.
In terms of landmass.
Exactly, landmass-wise. So, trying to capture the whole of that state or cover it with security agencies might not happen that fast. And if they are not careful, what we were able to achieve with Katsina, the Kankara boys, we might not be able to achieve this if they don't move fast.
All right, now look at what I was saying. I know that we can go to thinking about a lot of things, but what I was saying was that, because the solution I'm thinking about, why is it that we fail to think about all of these science schools when we had, from Chibok to Dapchi to Kankara and the rest? Why didn't we think about securing these schools? I recall that we talked about this during the Dapchi, the girls, and even the one in Katsina. That shouldn't government be serious about keeping schools safe? Because I'm looking at something here. This abduction is an attack on the right to education.
Yes, sure. Yes. No doubt. No doubt.
So you see that there's a strand of the Boko Haram ideology in all these things.
These guys are terrorists.
So they are terrorists.
We just give them bandits. They are terrorists.
You see, when the governor said that bandits are not criminal, I just laughed. Of course, if you go by the elementary mind that runs the system of that governor, you understand that if you're a member of a band, of course you're a bandit, right? So the Super Eagles is a band, right?
So are you calling us bandits?
You see, the problem we have in Nigeria is we have to tinker with the constitution. You see, that part of the constitution that says that what you need to govern in any place in Nigeria is a school start is an aberration of the highest order. You understand? You have to have a mind that is educated.
But then again, these guys, they have more than school.
They have more than school start. These guys are not just school start.
Where did they get the certificates from?
Do you want us to profile Matawale?
I mean,
Matawale is well educated.
You want to know how good these guys are.
Wow.
No, let's not go there. We're going to take a break right now. But I want to think solutions. What are we going to do to keep students safe? Tunde said, did this student really recover?
They hardly ever.
Because I am wondering if I was among the students in Kankara, kidnapped, brought back, will I want to go back to school?
School came.
Will I be interested in getting back to school?
Some parents were bold enough. They told the cameramen that day when they brought them back that their children are not going back to those schools.
Right. So what can we do? Then again, we also identify that this chicken is coming home to roost. They're moving closer. So the governors who are still battling with the headers, farmers who are battling with this kidnapping on the highway, are they thinking about the government secondary schools in their own domain? Are we thinking about the Babington schools in our own domain? Are we thinking about FGCs? Are we thinking about secondary schools that are just in one shanty? I took a picture, somebody did for me actually, a picture of a school in Oluyole Estate Grammar School. It's in Oluyole Estate here.
Oluyole?
Yes. And I'm sure you will not wish your son to be in that school.
Furniture, no?
Yes. What are we doing? We take a break. We're back. It's Splash Rendezvous. You can be part of us on Facebook, on Twitter. On Facebook, we are at Splash FM 105.5, and on Twitter at Splash FM 1055. We'd like to read from you, and then you can send us an SMS 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 0706 949 3000. Stay with us. Don't go away.
For your side, it gon' knock you down. I'm a damn salt gel. Me I can tell you no say, malaria medicine when no get bad taste or bitter taste from out, and it easy to swallow. Try. I got red game changer. I'm a damn salt gel.
I'm a damn salt gel. Now to treat malaria. If body not well after 3 days, see a doctor.
1960 bets don't return with bigger VCO as they don't arrange new management. They don't come back better and stronger. Then they pay commission to their agents' bank accounts and winnings to their customers. Sharply. No delay. You can do football to virtual games plus live bet jackpot for inside 1960 bets. Visit their website on top www.1960bets.com. 1960 bets. Play and win.
Some energy drinks promise power, but are more like this. What you need is this. New Predator energy drink, rule your kingdom. Now sells for only 200 naira.
Uncle Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Say they use Kung Fu?
No dear, now home for teeth they cause most tooth pains may be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate. Because Colgate locks calcium in.
Now the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Hey, Oga and Madam, you don't see the room now. Make I show you the toilet where you could share with the other neighbors.
Now the toilet be this.
What's the apple?
Oga agent, you mean say na general toilets clean, come white like this,
Yes, now. Na hypo toilet cleaner than they use to clean out and kill the yama germs come out.
Hypo toilet cleaner? Wow.
Wash your toilet at least once a week with Hypo Toilet Cleaner to keep it sparkling clean and jelly-free. Available in sachets for 35 naira only.
Madam, now 2 years landlord one collect.
We go pay for 6 years,
I won't tell you the secret of better food. Now the no chicken and classic seasoning powder. The ingredient they take make am na natural by nature, like real chicken, rosemary, black and white pepper, garlic, onion, parsley, mushroom, coriander. If you lack no seasoning powder for inside your jollof, fried rice, egusi, and all other soup, you go know say flavor pass flavor. No seasoning powder. Natural by ingredients. Bangba by flavor.
I'm stronger with boxer. And if I did it, you can too. No,
Bajaj Boxer celebrates 4 million plus happy customers in Nigeria. Buy a Boxer and get 4,000 naira airtime free. Rush to your nearest Boxer dealership today. Offer valid while stocks last. Call 0800 0111 1111 for inquiries. Terms and conditions apply.
Mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àyíká rẹ nípasẹ̀ ìròyìn BBC ní Yorùbá. Nítorí kí o tó lè tayọ, o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n. Ní ìmísí pẹ̀lú àwọn oríṣiríṣi ìròyìn láti ibi àti káàkiri àgbáyé. Nígbà tí o bá ní ìmọ̀ nípa ohun tó ń lọ ní àgbáyé, o lè ṣe ohunkóhun. Mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àyíká rẹ. Wá BBC News Yorùbá kàn.
now the steps to wash your hands.
Wet your hand, yeah. Apply soap, scrub your palms, scrub your fingers too, yeah. Scrub your nails, yeah. Scrub the back, the front, and rinse your hand, oh. Wash your hand, oh. Wash your hand, oh.
Wash your hands properly on the running water for at least 20 seconds to stop the spread of germs. This public service message is brought to you by Dettol.
Splash FM 105.5.
Welcome back. You're still Splash Rendezvous on Splash 105.5 FM. We'd like to hear from you. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 0706 949 3000. Someone here sent us a message. He said, questionable. No one has ever been kidnapped. No one who has been kidnapped will ever recover. I was kidnapped from my shop in Port Harcourt. I never recovered. That's a Nigerian saying that to us. So, in other words, we should begin to think about the intensity and the magnitude of damage we are doing to the lives of these young people when they had to go through this horror. I mean, for me, psychologically, I've been robbed from Lagos Ibadan Expressway before at gunpoint. My bags, my clothes, my laptops, were taken away at gunpoint. And I can tell you that every time I pass through that spot, I remember, I see that picture, I see those movements every time.
Now look at the number of people that we have traumatized. Not just the kidnapped victims, including even those who...
Their parents.
What about their parents? What about their friends?
What about friends?
Even those that you consider lucky, but who witnessed it? Do you think they will? You see, it's just unfortunate, but like we always say, that our priority is to find solutions.
So what do we do?
And not to just lament.
What should government be doing?
Well, there are so many legs to this thing. Firstly, it's a systemic problem. You see, we need to, the government at all levels, from the federal government to the state government, even the local government, they need to come alive to their responsibility. One is this, education. I always say it is very, very important. When you see, our mind cannot, our mind does not, accommodate any form of vacuum. If you don't fill it with sound ideology, something else is going to creep in. So education is very important. Number two is the issue of economy. You see, a poor person is helpless. And helplessness also brings hopelessness. Now, when you consider yourself an outlier in a society, you see some people who are living in opulence. You see them, living large. Let me use the street word. And then you look at yourself, the society has so conditioned you to be hopeless about your future. That internal agitation will eventually become, externalized. And it will manifest in different ways. Unfortunately, you will look at what is around you and pick up whatever you have. Those are very important issues. The other side is that the state, you see, there's a reason why the state must maintain monopoly of violence. The state must be powerful. You see, our state is very weak. I mean the Nigerian state in itself. Because we focus too much on, dealing with armless and helpless people. Or they want to have a protest somewhere, go and crush them. We have neglected the ultimate essence of state security. Our intelligence is weak. The personnel is, largely unmotivated, and the kind of weapons that we need, it's also weak. These guys can stand shoulder to shoulder against our military. That is the truth. That is the truth. So the state needs to invest in the area of security when I mean invest properly, not money that generals and police chiefs are feeding fat on. If you don't do all of this, I mean, it's only a matter of time. We all may get overwhelmed eventually.
Michael.
Okay, I'll just say that this government should go and look for that document on the Safe School Initiative. A very beautiful, plan that they have there. And remember when we talked about the Kankara boys, I also said it. Get community buy-in. Of course, maybe the minister, Magashi, who was talking earlier, maybe he had a problem with English language. Maybe if they had asked him the question in another language, maybe he would have been able to express better. I want to assume that he is basically talking about community, security consciousness. You get it? Okay, so we understand that in this Kagara situation, one boy was trying to alert the people. Mm-hmm. Maybe that was exactly what the minister was trying to say, where you guys should help us with information, with intelligence. Maybe that's what he's trying to. I'm just trying to.
You'll be very good at being his in public relations.
Yeah,
he just successfully spent it for him.
Give us your techniques.
So I'm talking about community buy-in, which is very important.
So one thing is that the community should also understand. The minister was making reference to such a thing when he said it is not just the duty of the military to keep all of us safe. So the fact is that we are involved in that safety.
Yeah.
I remember Soka.
Yes.
When the community members saw, the influx of certain people, they alerted the police and called people and said, what are you doing here?
And that's the consciousness that we should have. You see, this consciousness of, it doesn't concern me, after all, my family member is not there. That is not the Nigerian spirit that I want to see. The Nigerian spirit is, if someone is going to get hurt, we need to sound the alarm. We need to, the government needs to just like Tunde said, invest in security, but don't just invest in security, make security also look nice in the eyes of the people.
They should not just invest in tactical security.
Exactly. They should do human relations part of it. So that when someone sees a military person in uniform, he will not see an enemy. He will not see an oppressor. He will see a fellow patriot, someone who is there because I need safety. We need to see. Most of us, even when you are driving and you see policemen, trying to stop you, what is that thought that comes to your head? The government should try to dig into our minds to ask us, if you are driving now and you see police stop, what is the first thing that comes to your mind, and address that thing? The
first thing that comes to mind is that this guy is going to extort me.
So we need to address that.
Okay. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678 and 0706 949 3000. Dial.
Well,
how are we going to be able to keep schools safe? I want you to address that. How are we going to keep our schools safe? Should governors be acting helpless?
We've seen several, some crying, some begging, some clearly a governor said he was helpless.
Some of the big brother.
And we know how it ends. But I think one thing we can do, as we mentioned already, community awareness and community policing. I don't know how many times we'll have to say it. We need people who are security. They are retired policemen, retired officers in almost every community. Can we engage these people? They know what to do almost immediately. There's always a security protocol that security agents know how to handle situations like that on time, at least to save space or buy time till the real agents, soldiers and the likes show up. Then one thing is clear. I doubt if we invest in strategic security forecasting. I doubt it. Why am I saying this? Post 2015 election, a fellow of a particular Group 1 organization, United States Institute for Peace in the US, after the 2015 elections, these guys released like 14 papers saying that yes, the Jonathan government succeeded in all this, pre-election, they were able to scatter these guys from Sambisa, but they warned that what naturally happens when you have this kind of success is that they scatter into interlands, into different states, and they form what they call sleeper cells. And they will go into hibernation, try to recoup money, get support, and by the time they come back, they launched guerrilla warfare. This dates as far back as 2015. So we had this coming. What did we do in preparation? That's why I said I doubt if we invest in strategic security forecasting, we could have done something. Now, I think I'll leave the north and focus on south now. What we are still handling now is what Benue has handled. Benue, Jos, Plateau, farmers, dance clash. That's what, to a large extent, that's what we are still dealing with. The truth is, what is happening in Niger State has happened successfully in Borno State, in Yobe State, will likely happen if you don't handle this well.
So it's close at home.
It is. It's the truth.
If you get to Niger State, how far is Niger State from Kwara State?
Right, I mean, just
and
small
then
distance.
Can we confidently say that these guys are not in our forests?
They might not be able to get that large number yet, but we know they're already kidnapping individuals. It's a fact. It's already happening. A very good friend of ours here was kidnapped on his way from Ekiti to Ibadan. From broad daylight.
Yeah.
I mean, and he kept saying that almost every day they will go to the same road, kidnap another person, and bring them there.
Same spot.
So, whether or not they are here, I think that's a concluded matter. We know these guys are here. They might not just yet have that temerity or confidence to hit schools like they are doing.
I'm packed in large numbers.
But the truth is, if we allow them continue, one day will be one day. You know, we also have schools inside the bush. We do.
Yeah.
We do.
A lot.
We do. So we need to plan ahead.
Thank you. Plan
and
ahead.
those schools are unprotected.
Largely.
You don't have perimeter fencing.
There was a science
You don't have
school.
security.
There was a science school in Oyo, in Oyo town, that we visited. I think about 4 years ago. There was an attack there. Some, let me use the word hoodlums. They attacked the students. They attacked the female hostel. I think there was an attempt to rape some of those girls, but somehow they were able to fight back. So I went there as a journalist to, see what was going on. Immediately this recent attack happened in Niger State. Somehow that school just came to mind because that is also a science school. It's an unprotected school. It's isolated. You have bush all over the place.
Wow.
So if random bad boys in the area without arms, because they were not carrying arms that day, that's why those girls were able to repel them, could invade the school. Imagine if, you turn the table.
Settle with RPG.
So that's, these things are not happening here. It's not because we are doing anything. It's just because those guys have not come in. And that is why we have to prepare ourselves. It's not like we have done anything
at all.
If they want to do it today in the southwest, it's a field day.
Wow. So, paying them ransom has been one issue that people have been discussing. But we need to look at how we can keep our schools safe. Michael has said, let's go back to the safe school document and bring out.
I'm not sure that document
will that help us?
What are you going to?
Well,
you see, we are almost almost failing.
That's a bitter one.
So we have a lot to do. These guys are here already. These guys are heavily armed. They are criminals.
That's why we are paying ransom, because.
We need to first and foremost root them out. So don't offer amnesty when they are not asking for it. We need the states need to be able to fight them.
Even if they ask for it, right?
Should we? Yes.
You see what Tunde just said. What we used to do when we were in secondary school. You see someone who is strong and all that. You just go and slap the person, and then you can start. And then
we call it first attack.
Slap the person, and then people will now say, "Hey, Majama." That's what the government should do. And then they can now say, "Okay."
So why is government not showing force?
They are being cowardly.
They are cowards.
Okay.
That's just it. They're cowards because you are the one in charge.
They're also not, capable.
You see, if they go to United Nations meeting or Security Council or whatever, when they mention Nigeria, it's the president that will come or a minister of foreign affairs. It's not the bandits that represent Nigeria. So why are we allowing those who are not representing us to take over the space
and make decisions for
us? Why are they
the shots?
I just feel that you are giving them the opportunity. The body language of the government suggests that if you do it again, please don't do it again. Please don't do it again. That's basically what they're saying.
The new service chiefs, what are they doing?
What are they doing?
I'm wondering.
They're barely 2 weeks on the job.
Yes, they got there and then it is hitting them. I thought they will hit the ground running.
They are still on the drawing board.
Where is
still
it?
strategizing.
Doing what? Drawing what? Are they doing to tech?
But now.
I hate to say this, but Shekau, in his YouTube video that he shot and released, said there will be nothing different from these guys.
He knows them. Shekau knows them.
They are customers. So, mind you, all the service chiefs, all of them have served at. So they know each other. They know each other. That's the truth.
I get the sense that the Boko Haram terrorists and even the bandits, I don't know whether they are one and the same.
They work together from the Kankara experience.
They know the strength. They know the entire strength of our military. They've been able to size us all.
What you guys are saying is disheartening.
That's
but it's the truth.
If they know the size of our military and the strength of our military.
If somebody continues to dare you, I mean, there is a saying in Yoruba. These guys consistently they've dared the Nigerian state. They've dared the president, the commander-in-chief.
So there's no element of surprise. That's what they're saying. So anytime you make a move...
So it's not about the service chiefs.
Anytime you make a move, Shekau will do a video and say, That's to say, okay, we know where you guys are going and we are waiting. And it's so unfortunate.
Since 9/11, there has not been any internal terrorist attack in the United States. All you've been having are maybe, random guys who just go out to shoot. But for terrorists to plan an attack and execute it on the soil of the United States, it has not happened. That is a country that is serious about dealing with the situation. These ones keep happening, and then our president releases a statement
sympathizing
and condemning the attack, and then another one again.
And then he says we are going to deal with them ruthlessly.
Then the cycle continues.
Okay, I saw this piece of news. Africa's largest economy, Nigeria, has officially exited recession.
Wow.
Helped by the gradual return of economic activities, followed by the easing of restricted movement and stimulus packages by the CBN. Wow. National Bureau of Statistics says real GDP grew by 0.11% in the fourth quarter of 2020, which is higher compared to the minus 3.62% growth recorded in the third quarter of last year. For full year 2020, Africa's largest economy, Nigeria, contracted by 1.92%. So crude oil production in Q4 2020 fell to 1.56 million barrels per day, down from 1.67 million barrels per day recorded per day in Q3 2020. So, gentlemen, good news.
Yeah, but inflation is still 16.47. So, according to a renowned journalist who does this for a living, I'll quote him. He said, "This is Fire Brigade GDP." His name is Boasin Omofai.
I know Boasin. I listened to
Fire Brigade.
I listened to Boasin this morning.
That's what he called.
That's a new paradigm.
Let me just hear him quickly, just once, please. Hello.
Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Kalari.
You have 30 seconds. I have to play an advert now.
Okay. Well, you guys have said virtually everything, but some of the news that we hear, they are just sensational news. Like the one you just read now about the fact that Nigeria exiting recession. How does that affect the common man? Has it in any way impacted us in any way positively? When people are hungry, they don't have jobs to do, they go into all of these things that you guys have talked about. And we have a government that is not doing enough, I'm sorry to say. If you provide steady electricity, and I want to be a barber, I can eat from that steady electricity.
Okay.
I know I'll be happy. If I want to grind paper, I can do that. For so many things, I just feel, even the people that are securing us, are they well equipped? Are they well paid?
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yeah. We have to take a break. I'll be back after the news to stay with us.
Splash